So hi guys, this was shot in a controlled environment with safety glasses worn and everything as well, but watch what happens. A bit of a fail, but don't know if you don't try at the end of the day.
Well, hi guys, so it's Good Friday and obviously the Easter weekend. So I've got a couple of Easter eggs here, nothing expensive, just a dairy milk one and a caramel one. I think they're about £1.50 each, not a load of money. And I thought, well, we need to do something cool with this. So I'm going to do one that's smashing it, well maybe both that might smash. One in slow motion video and the other one in stills. Hopefully it's going to work. I'm literally going to try something. I've only got two, so if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. This is what it's about: experimentation, trying stuff out. If it works, then we could end up with a really cool shot. If not, who knows? But utilising the Rotolight EOS to light the situation for the minute, so that means I can shoot 24 frames per second stills to capture any explosion or whatever we end up doing. And the other one is we can shoot at a high frame rate as well, so because there's no flickering with these, so there is no refresh rate on the LEDs at all that you can see. Even at 1000 frames per second, there is no banding or anything happening through the video. So unlike a fluorescent bulb or a cheaper LEDs, or even a torch for example, you'll see flickering, which is the actual refresh rate. So with the Rotolights you don't get that issue, so that's one massive benefit. I know they're quite expensive, but it makes a huge difference. So anyway, that's we're going to take a few stills anyway, just for kind of product shots kind of situation, and then go from there, and then possibly make one explode or shatter as I throw it on the ground or something. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but we shall see, and go from there. So as the eggs come, these ones anyway, they come in two pieces. That's easily fixed because all I did was turn the hob on and literally held the egg facing one side of the egg facing downwards, just for a second or two, a couple of times, just to melt one side, lifted it away, and then I've glued these two together. So I'm using a Sony was it an old Pentax Pentax to Sony E-mount adapter as the holder. So what we're going to do is, and I'm actually going to, if you can see that, is it going to focus on there? This is basically a cotton bud, you know, like for cleaning ears or whatever. I've cut it in half, and I'm actually going to fire it and see what happens. But hopefully it'll explode the egg. Using an air rifle. Can't use real ammunition. Even a lead pellet will go straight through the back of the studio and damage whatever inside the apartment. So utilising this, it's going to move very quickly, but it's actually quite soft as well. So it's not going to do, well, hopefully not too much damage. It may go through that as well, I don't know. But if I hit the egg, that's going to be the most important thing. So anyway, we're going to shoot this in HFR mode, and going to set the shot up now. And another benefit of LED lighting, it doesn't melt chocolate. There's no heat compared to the old halogen lights, so that's a benefit as well. So this can sit under for ages, and go from there. But anyway, so let's swap over to HFR and give this a shoot. Right guys, as it turns out, as the eggs come, these ones anyway, they come in two pieces. That's easily fixed because all I did was turn the hob on and literally held the egg facing one side of the egg facing downwards, just for a second or two, a couple of times, just to melt one side, lifted it away, and then I've glued these two together. So I'm using a Sony was it an old Pentax Pentax to Sony E-mount adapter as the holder. So what we're going to do is, and I'm actually going to, if you can see that, is it going to focus on there? This is basically a cotton bud, you know, like for cleaning ears or whatever. I've cut it in half, and I'm actually going to fire it and see what happens. But hopefully it'll explode the egg using an air rifle. Can't use real ammunition. Even a lead pellet will go straight through the back of the studio and damage whatever inside the apartment. So utilising this, it's going to move very quickly, but it's actually quite soft as well. So it's not going to do, well, hopefully not too much damage. It may go through that as well, I don't know. But if I hit the egg, that's going to be the most important thing. So anyway, we're going to shoot this in HFR mode, and going to set the shot up now. And another benefit of LED lighting, it doesn't melt chocolate. There's no heat compared to the old halogen lights, so that's a benefit as well. So this can sit under for ages and go from there. But anyway, so let's swap over to HFR.
Right guys, so 2.2 air rifle, half a cotton bud cut in half. It's nice and rigid, but it's cardboard based, so it shouldn't do too much damage. But it comes out at such a rate that it should explode the egg, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
So all it did was put a hole in it, so that kind of sucked. So that is moving so fast that it actually just didn't work, it didn't explode anything. So I think I'm going to have to just smash it and see what happens and go from there. But it was worth a go. Just a shame it didn't go boom. I think it needs some explosives involved, but I can't do it indoors. It's a shame. But yeah, oh well, it was worth an interesting. I thought it might explode it. It's been in the fridge for a good, well, a couple of days, the egg, so it's proper, you know, firm. But never mind, worth a go. And well, don't bother shooting it with an air rifle. I think the pellet would have done exactly the same thing, apart from blowing the back end out. But I don't think it would have done enough damage. It needs to be a larger thing. So I think I'm just going to slam the egg down onto the plastic and watch it explode. But it was worth a go.
So as you can see here, here's the egg being launched down, and it worked quite well. Didn't do quite what I thought it might. I thought it might break up into smaller pieces or more smaller pieces, but it kind of worked. It still looks quite cool. But yeah, even that bit spinning around on the left-hand side is pretty cool, just pirouetting. But yeah, you can see the bit there with the hole in it from the when I shot it. But yeah, all in all, it kind of worked, and that's the one with the hole there. But yeah, it's experimentation. That's the most important thing. You learn from doing. You can read as many books as you like, watch as many videos as you like, and unless you start doing it yourself, I think it's, you know, you learn from doing it. You learn from the experience of messing up, like I have this evening. I could have done with 10 eggs really, so 2 didn't really cut it. You know, and my depth of field could have been longer, but then I need more lighting. So ideally I need to do that in the sun, but then the sun might melt the eggs because it's warm. You know, put them in the freezer maybe. There's always little things, factors you need to take in consideration that might affect your you know, process as such that you're trying to do. I mean, this egg here, I threw it the first time, didn't do anything. Second time it kind of cracked. Third time I did this, and I was hoping the caramel would have been soft enough that it actually splattered onto the surface, but it didn't. It just sort of cracked and spewed a bit. But learning curve, like you say, nothing's going to go to waste. But these little buttons here, they were quite cool. This is probably the best bit really. Them just falling out of the bag, so I just poured a little. It was only a small little packet, but it looks quite cool. Them falling down and doing stuff like that. And then major sort of failure on. I forget you couldn't use flash on burst mode because it can only do a few frames per second. It's not like the high end A9 or the A7R4 where you can do 10 frames per second mechanical shutter. You know, and obviously the flash will freeze your subject, unlike this, where even at 1/2000th of a second, things were still pretty much a little bit of movement was happening. Also, my depth problem. I couldn't drop or throw the egg down in a particular spot very easily. Hence why you can see a couple of small bits of chocolate, like that one piece right in front of you, is sharp, but everything else is kind of blurred. Is it a bad thing? Not necessarily. And you can kind of see what's happening. But I had to shoot at such a high ISO, ISO 1000 upwards, just to get enough light for the depth. And I was shooting f5.6. Anything higher than it, I would have needed a lot more light. But just a learning curve, guys. And yeah, so end of the day, we need to practice, and we'll get things, correct as we wanted it to kind of happen. The more we do it, so I could have done with, like I say, 10 eggs, and I would have got this right. Maybe needed to be outside in the sun or in somewhere a lot brighter, with a bit more space, so I could actually really slam them down hard to get a bit more of a explosion as such, or cut a small hole out the back and stick a rookie or little mini explosive charge in there and blow the hell out of it, which would be really cool. But obviously couldn't do that indoors. One, for sheer noise, smoke, and damaging things inside your own house kind of thing isn't ideal. So yeah, that may happen another time. But yeah, keep practicing, guys. Have a good Easter. Make sure you chill at home, and I'm probably going to be at home, or might go for a little cycle or a walk with my exercise, because we've got some woodland and stuff nearby which no one goes to, which is handy, so I can stay well away from everyone. But that'll only be for a little while. But stay safe, and don't forget to click that subscribe button and the little notification bell as well, and I shall see you soon.